What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Handmade and Beyond podcast. I'm your host, LL, leader of the handmadeandbeyond.com website and community. I'm a self-employed entrepreneur, an Etsy expert, and business coach who's figured out how to make my entire living with my handmade business. Each week, I'll dive into strategies and success tips to help you with your handmade business, with Etsy, and everything in between. Let's dive in. All right, guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the Handmade and Beyond podcast. Glad to be back with you guys as usual. Hopefully, you guys are doing awesome and your sales are rocking and rolling. Your business is rocking and rolling. It is summertime, so mind you, sales could be a little bit slower. I know a lot of people are freaking out because there was a huge boom with COVID, and now things are slowing down. But if you think about what's going on in the world right now, everyone's going out and about. Everyone's going on vacation, everyone's going camping, things that they couldn't do for the last year, so they're not as worried about buying online. I'm super confident that things will pick up in the coming months, especially for quarter four, for the holidays and all that stuff. There's going to be plenty of sales to come, so just keep focused on what you can control and working on your shop. So I just wanted to start with a little bit of a pep talk for you there. But today's episode is a good one for you, and it's really centered around the recent Etsy shipping changes. Nothing crazy here, but I just wanted to talk through it with you so you don't have to go through reading all the form that came out, the email that came out. Sometimes it's just easier to listen to someone else tell you what changed. And I'm going to talk about some other stuff along the way in regard to shipping while we're talking about these changes. So mind you, like I said, these changes are good. I don't see anything wrong with these changes. It's just going to make it a better experience for the buyer, better experiences for your buyers, make buying easier, make sales come more frequently. So that's always a good thing. All right, so let's dive in here. The first change that they're making is with the estimated delivery date details. So basically what they want you to do, and this is only taking effect for new listings that you add, or if you renew a listing, they'll probably flag it and say you have to update the shipping profile in that listing before you can renew it or before you can add a listing under an old shipping profile. So a shipping profile is a profile where you can set preset options and apply that profile to multiple listings. It just saves you a lot of time. So if you sell a lot of the same things, you can set up a profile and apply it to 10 listings, 20 listings, all your listings if they're all the exact same as far as weights, sizes, and you can have multiple profiles depending on what you're selling if you're selling different things. So it just makes it a lot easier. So you have to change it in your profile and update it. Basically, you have to add the class, the mail class, whether you're shipping that item first class, priority. Those are really the two options. So you have to make sure that is in there. Then you have to make sure your processing time is set in there as well. So whether it's 1 to 3 days, 3 to 5, 1 to 2 weeks, whatever your processing time is, make sure your processing time is correct. You want to have the correct processing time and even ship out items even faster than that usually, because that will help you. The worst thing you can do to get bad reviews or to get upset customers is to have a processing time and then not abide by it and ship out slower. So faster is good. Just in time is good. Slower is bad. So always over deliver in that area. And then the last thing that you have to add is make sure your zip code's in there from where you're shipping from. All this stuff is just going to give the customer a better idea of when they're going to get the item. So Etsy uses the processing times, they use the mail carrier that you're using, and then they use the zip code of where it's shipping from, and they can see where that buyer is at and where you're shipping to. So then that helps them really hammer down a good range of when that customer is going to get the item. And in return, they're going to be more apt to buy. Quicker is better. Usually people are buying stuff either for themselves or as gifts. Gifts, especially, they want to receive in time and fast. So that's why processing times, mail provider, and your zip code are really important to make sure that they're in there and that they're correct. In return, it's just going to help Etsy provide a better service for customers, for their customers, for your customers, and it's going to be a better overall experience for everyone. So the next thing that's changing, that's pretty straightforward. The next thing that's changing is you have to add tracking information before marking an order as complete. So I know some people will mark an order as complete and then go back in and add tracking information later on, or they'll mark an order as complete and print out all the orders that they have to do, work on them, and then go back and add tracking information later on, or really no tracking information at all. Now you have to add tracking information when you mark your order as complete. Otherwise, you can't mark it as complete. Now, if you're buying your labels through Etsy, this will automatically mark the order as complete, and it'll automatically populate the tracking shipping information. But I know some people use third parties such as Pirate Ship, and if you sell from multiple channels, it may be, you may be using a third party shipping provider. So then you have to go in and manually add that information. Could be kind of a pain. So I like to purchase my stuff through Etsy just because it's all succinct. It's quick that way, and it automatically marks the order as complete. So depending on how you're using it, this may be a little bit of a change for you. But again, it's all to help the customer so they can see the tracking information right away. They can see their order when it's shipped, make sure that they can keep tabs on it, and helps Etsy. Because Etsy on the back end sends emails that, your order is shipped, your order should get here within however many days. That's behind the scenes marketing that they're doing, or not really marketing, it's updates that they're doing to keep their customer engaged and ready to receive their item. So it's all kind of a part of that to make sure that everyone's on the same page. Now, I know some people do, they say here for orders over $10, so usually it should be covered for pretty much everything. But some people do sell like stickers and stuff like that. Those orders are probably under $10, so you're probably okay, because I know people will do it with stamps and in envelopes, but maybe you have like a more expensive sticker that's over $10 and you don't have tracking number because you're still shipping it with stamps. They do allow you to do the drop down and check mark order as complete and then add a tracking number, or if you can't add a tracking number, you can put other there, or select no tracking and then put other, and then they will ask for an explanation as to why there's no tracking number. So that's really the only reason I could think of why there wouldn't be a tracking number if you're still using stamps to ship your item. So there wouldn't be a tracking number for that. And so, obviously digital items, local pickups, oversized, heavy items, customized orders, that are linked to other orders. There's certain instances where that wouldn't apply, because if you're not shipping it with digitized items, local pickups, you're not shipping it, so you wouldn't have to do that. So there's things that don't apply to that rule. All right, so the last change is Etsy will only mark an order as complete when it's with the shipping carrier. So this is kind of like what I was just talking about. You can only mark an order as complete when you have a tracking number. So you can't mark an order as complete if you don't have a tracking number for the item, because Etsy automatically sends an email to the customer telling them that the order is complete and that it's on its way. So there's the instances where, you may not have tracking numbers. So that's what I was kind of just talking about. So this is a little redundant. I don't know why they had this on here again, but basically it's the same thing that applies. So if you purchase your labels through Etsy, it will automatically mark the order as complete, send a notification to the customer. If you do it third party, you have to import or put in the tracking information, and then it'll be able to mark the order as complete, and then it'll be able to notify the customer. So that's it, guys. That's the changes, and from my standpoint, I think they're all positive changes that'll make it better for the customer to keep up to date, keep tabs in their package, to know when they're getting it, so that they're more engaged with the process. Etsy definitely isn't going to make changes that are going to purposely hurt their buyers and sellers. So that's pretty much an overview. You guys should probably get if you're have an Etsy shop, you'll get an email on that, and you can kind of read through it if you want. But that's the high level take or my summary on the changes. I really think the biggest one is updating the shipping profiles just to make sure that they're accurate, so people know when they're getting their items in a timely fashion. The tracking information, if you're purchasing them through Etsy, is nothing's going to change there. It's really if you're buying shipping from somewhere else, that may be a little bit of a pain, but it's really only going to help the buyer stay engaged and keep tabs on their stuff that they're getting, which they should have tracking information for their orders. So that's really important that customers have that anyways. So that's it, guys. Hopefully that helps. Lastly, I just wanted to let you guys know that I have a brand new free training for you guys, and it's how to build a top 1% Etsy shop. And what I talk about in this training is the 7 things the top Etsy shops do and focus on to be successful in their business. So I go through 7 different topics, dive into each to let you guys know what you should be focusing on in your shop and in your business, because I want you to have a successful Etsy business. This is why I'm doing this. I want to share the wealth, share the tips, share the strategies for you guys, so that you can avoid some of the frustrations that I had to go through early on in my Etsy journey. So you can get the training. There's going to be a link below. You can also go to handmadeandbeyond.com/Etsy success. Dive right in, watch that free training for you guys that I created. Hopefully it helps you with your Etsy business. Stay on track, keep moving forward, keep that momentum going. That's what's the most important. Outside of that, have an awesome rest of your day. I'll be back very, very soon with another helpful and amazing, totally rad episode for you guys.